Hey, Liberal Christian, how's it going? It's good to hear back from you. I was afraid that I'd maybe scared you off with my last video because I came off as really offended. I was upset at the time, but wasn't really worth it, you know. I've been very stressed. I've been working on a project lately. Just finished it today, so I'm feeling really good. So I'd like to apologize for enhancing the tension and making a big deal out of it. There's just a few things I want to address. I mean, we're kind of covering the same topics, you know, back and forth, back and forth. One thing I want to point out is the thing about atheism and the faith in atheism. I understand where you're getting at. Like I do. I understand the whole um, you you see that atheists are people who believe that there's a natural explanation for things, and the natural explanation for things that they present to you doesn't seem to make sense to you, and because it doesn't make sense to you, and because you haven't studied it and things like that, um, it seems like a leap of faith because it's so complicated and weird. It seems strange. Um, before I talk about those specific things, I want to just point out um, atheism. You, I understand that there's a correlation between the two. That atheists, the non-believers, tend to also be people who believe in the Big Bang and evolution and natural selection, things like that. You know, those sorts of theories that are accepted by 90% of the scientific, over 90% of the scientific community, or something like that. You know, an overwhelming majority, basically, of people who study these things. You know, you say scientists, and Christians are like, oh, just quoting the scientists, but you know, just honestly, I mean, these are the people who study it. So, like, what do you want to do? I mean, there's this whole like conspiracy thing. Like the scientists are out to get the religious. I mean, anyone can be a scientist who wants to be a scientist, and anyone who becomes a scientist has like over a 90% probability of believing in evolution, the Big Bang, and natural selection. I mean, it's just the way it is. So I mean, if you want to deny that, if you want to deny that reasonability, you know, that people who actually study it are going to believe it, who actually like learn about it are going to believe it. I mean, it flies in the face of the scientific process to believe in something and like keep whipping out evidence in support of that. Like that's not what they want to do. If a scientist came out with information to disprove evolution, do you know how famous they would be? Like if they actually did it, they would be ridiculously famous. They want that. That's the gold, you know? Like when Newtonian physics got overthrown, you know, by Einstein, like that was huge. Like that's why Einstein is as famous as he was, because he overthrew the status quo. Yeah, he got a lot of I mean, he got a lot of flack for it. But he's extremely famous. It is in the scientist's individual interest to challenge the scientific community. The number one rule of a scientist is to question everything, including the scientific theories that are postulated. Um, but atheism isn't necessarily the same as complete naturalism. This is what you're getting at: naturalism, the explaining of things without supernatural. Atheism isn't naturally complete naturalism. Atheism is only related to theism. So, and theism is only related to godlike entities. Now, the godlike entity, I mean, that's fairly restrictive. You know, it's got to be kind of omniscient, omnipotent. It has to be a conscious being that's fairly relatable on a human level to some degree. You know, it's a being that exists. Um, but there could be other explanations that aren't like natural, you know, besides God. So you can't lump those two together automatically. And even if you are a naturalist, that doesn't mean that you are like, evolution is it, Big Bang, that's all there was. You know, like there have always been naturalists, even before evolution, even before Big Bang. You know, the theories come and go, but theists, that's it. End of story. This is the way it was. It is written. That's it. You know. So it's not faith. It's just, this is the evidence. If it's enough for you, it's enough for you, and you believe it. if something else comes along that challenges that, and you're open-minded enough to receive it, which the scientific community generally is, sometimes it maybe takes a generation or two to get into the new theory, just because people are stubborn in their own things. But that's just out of defense. They're trying to defend it. I mean, if a new theory comes along, you can't just be like, whoa, that's the new one, throw out the old stuff. You have to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Is it really work? I mean, this seems to really work, and you fight for it. You have to. Otherwise, who knows what theories are just going to pop in there and take over? There has to be a battle of wits. That's not being stubborn. It's being thorough. It's being scientific. So basically what I'm trying to say is, atheism, in your mind, I need you, please, realize it is just a lack of belief in God. It doesn't propose how the universe began, how life has evolved or come to its state of being. It doesn't say any of these things. All it is a lack of theism. A lack of theism. It doesn't propose anything. It's a lack of proposal. That's it. Now you're talking. Another thing to talk about is the wall of non-belief. You see this wall of non-belief that I'm setting up. This is kind of what I was talking about before. Like, it's for a theory to be accepted, or for an idea to be accepted, it has to hold up to criticism. I am creating criticism for your belief, and I am creating criticism for all forms of belief relating to theism. Does that mean I've put up a wall in my mind? To some degree, probably, but I try all the time to not. I always will cede an argument when proposed correctly. Always. I always try to. If I don't, I have nothing. There's no reason for me to be here if I can't do that at the very least. I feel like I do it, and people tell me that I do that, so I mean, I don't know. I think I do a pretty good job of it, so I'm sorry if I come off as having a wall of non-belief and being, stubborn and stuff, but hey, if you're as right as you are, you should be able to hold up to it. And if you can't hold up to it, and if you need to resort to just reading off quotes, I mean, we've already established that I don't believe the quotes. First, give me a reason to believe the quotes, and once I believe the quotes, well, you're probably already there, so you don't even have to read the quotes. I'll read them on my own. If you can prove to me that the quotes are worth reading, and the quotes are true, and the Bible is true, and I should read it, well, you don't have to be the one to read it, okay? So first establish that it's worth my time, and then if you do your job correctly, then I'll do it. It's fine. Don't feel obligated. I don't want to put all that pressure on you, okay? I'm kind of joking around here, but I think you understand what I'm saying. I think this video's gone on long enough, so I'm going to just cut it short. I know I didn't cover everything, but those are the main two things. Atheism, not naturalism. Atheism is a term relative to theism. And wall of non-belief, well, whatever. I mean, if you're convinced that I have a wall of non-belief, then you're wasting your time talking to me. I don't think I do. That's why I'm talking to you. If I thought I did, I wouldn't be talking to you. There wouldn't be a purpose for me to be here. And we know this. If you go watch my old videos, like my ideas about things have changed over these past few months. So, I mean, I tend to think that I'm fairly reasonable. But whatever. If you don't think I'm reasonable, I guess I'll not be seeing from you again. But if you do want to continue talking, I'm here. Talk to you later.